everybody, welcome to the Tea Table. This week we're going to have a video every day focusing on Expanded. Expanded is black and white to whatever the current standard set is. Expanded usually has a few regionals, like in the fall, winter, usually every season. Obviously this season has been going on for 3 years, so we already passed the expanded portion, but I find expanded is such a fun format. When you go to a regional, usually in the end there's like a control deck that as well, but there's so many options and cool combinations of cards you don't get to experience in standard. And over this week we're going to be taking a look at some of those combinations. So our first deck today is going to revolve around Sableye V, which you do know from standard. You put a trainer in your hand for Dark Energy, and then for 2 Dark, it does 60 more for every damage counter your opponent's active. Now in Standard, we do have Galarian Zigzagoon to put a damage counter on it. But in Expanded, we do have Golbat, which is when you evolve it from your hand, you put 20 on a Pokemon. And we have Crobat, which when you evolve it, you put 30 on one of your opponent's Pokemon. This card was played a long time ago when it came out with Seismitoad DX, if you're familiar with that, and a lot of different things. But we are mainly using it to power up our Sableye V. So if you use a Golbat, you're already doing 190. And if you put a Crobat for 3, I mean, you're going to be knocking out stuff pretty easy. So we're going to take a look at the deck list and then show a couple changes, as there is a pretty rare card that might not be easy to obtain in this list. So you got the main Pokemon. You got Crobat V is pretty standard. Mew is like Manaphy. You do prevent all damage done to your opponent's done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attack. It also just has an attack that puts 3 damage counters any way you like for 1. That's not bad. Sometimes you just like, you know what? Go win a game, Mew. So we have the Crobat line, but the cool thing is Zubat, as long as it has no energy, it has no retreat cost. So if you start with it, it's not the worst thing because you retreat for free. The Golbat does do 10 to all your opponent's Pokemon, which helps the spread, and the Crobat does 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon as well, also helping spread or getting a knockout if you couldn't do it earlier. So there is also Jirachi-EX. So this is where the cool combinations of Expander are going to come into play. So it is like Lumineon V and Tapu Lele GX. When you play it from your hand on your bench, you put a supporter in your hand from your deck. Now a cool thing about it, since it is an EX, you can Scoop Up Net it. Because Scoop Up Net is put one of your Pokemon that is not a V or GX in your hand. So the cool thing about Jirachi is you can just pick it up with a Scoop Up Net. And that is one of the cool interactions because EXs came so much before V's and GXs. So we'll get to the trainers here real quick. We got Dark Patch, which is attach a basic Dark from discard pile to one of your bench Dark Pokemon, so Sableye. This card, I believe, is going to be reprinted in English very soon, so it's a card you're going to see a lot of. We do have a Field Blower, which says choose up to 2 in any combination of tool cards and stadiums in play from either player and discard them. There is a lot of disruption-type tools and decks in Expanded along with stadiums, so a Field Blower is a really great way to get rid of them and discard them and allow you to combo off whatever your deck may be. So we got Level Ball. We all know this one. Search your deck for Pokemon 90 HP or less, put in your hand. So what's, like I said, another cool thing is you can just get Jirachi. So you can Level Ball for a supporter, basically, which is pretty sweet. We have Lure Ball. Flip 3 coins for each heads. Put an evolution Pokemon from your disc pile back into your hand. You're just going to discard your evolution sometimes. We got 4 Quick Ball. We all know that one. Search your deck for basic. We got a Repeat Ball, which is search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as Pokemon you have in play. So since you do have like a 4-3-3 Crobat, you got all the Golbat, Zubats in play, you can usually help you chain off and get that going. We also have 2 Ultra Balls to obviously search for more Pokemon as well. We do have a Scoop Up Cyclone. So in Expanded, there are things called A-Specs. You can have 1 A-Spec card in your deck, period. So the one we're going to choose for this deck is Scoop Up Cyclone, which just says pick up a Pokemon. It is like Scoop Up Net, but there's no restriction. So you could pick up your Sableye V, your Crobat, any Pokemon you want. You could just only play 1 of. And then we do have the 3 Scoop Up Net, which is going to do the same thing. To pick up your Jirachi, Crobats to recycle them to do more damage. We got 2 Versus Seeker, where you put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So it helps you recycle. And Expanded, you can get a lot more aggressive with the lower supporter counts, because you could basically always get them back with Versus Seeker. This card's pretty insane. It just helps you chain off, so you don't have to be like 4 this, 4 Marnie, or whatever your supporter might be. It lets you play lower, because you'll be able to get them back. So then we have Tropical Beach. So Tropical Beach was a card that is exclusive to Worlds a long time ago. You see this as Worlds 12. I believe it's also Worlds 11, I believe. So this card is very hard to get. So after I'm done with this list, I did build another one without Tropical Beach, and that is the one we will play some games with. But Tropical Beach says one string each player's turn. You can draw until you have 7, and if you do, your turn ends. So it's basically decks that just want to get a good setup turn 2. So you play down your hand, whatever. You don't want to use your Crobat. You draw until you have 7, so if your opponent doesn't have a disruption card, you're basically ready to go and combo off on turn 2. You can basically, if you own this card, I mean, you just put it in any deck, really. But like I said, it's hard to get, so we will show the other list in a second. But let's go to supporters real quick. So you might notice we have 12 balls in our deck. That is because we are playing Ball Guy, which is search your deck for up to 3 different item cards that have the word ball in their name. You put them in your hand. So you can get Level Ball, Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, or you can get the Repeat Ball. So you can Level Ball, Quick Ball, Repeat Ball, Level Ball for like the Zubat, Repeat Ball for a Zubat, or another Crobat, or I'm sorry, a Golbat, and get those chains going. Pretty great. We got Guzma. You switch one your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and then you do the same. So it's like Cross Switcher from Standard, just a supporter version. Very good, very insane. This card's everywhere. We got 2N. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck. You draw cards equal to how many prizes you have left. This card could be the great equalizer, especially depending on what kind of deck you're running. If your opponent's got like 11 card hand, but they got 3 prizes, well, they got a 3 card hand. And it helps you if you fall behind early, because as you notice, a lot of our random basics like Zubat and stuff, they don't have a lot of HP. So your opponent take quick prize, you give them a less hand, see how it goes. We got 2 Juniper, which is just like Professor's Research. Discard your hand, draw 7. Pretty simple. And then you have a Raihan. We all know this card from Standard. Touch basic energy and get a card. So it can help you power up your Sableye in one turn if you have to, after a knockout, and get you back in attacking. Same for the energy. We have 6 Dark. We also have 2 Counter Energy. Counter Energy, another cool interaction. So this card provides colorless, but if you're losing, it provides 2 of anything as long as it's not attached to a GX or an EX. Luckily for us, Sableye is a V. So you can just pop that on there and get 2 energy out of nowhere and get attacking. So that is the list with Tropical Beach. So we will close that and we will look at the list real quick without Tropical Beach. So what I did for out Tropical Beach, I put in 3 Snorlax, which is Tropical Beach at home. So Gorman dies. It's the same thing. Active, draw 7, end your turn. We didn't really change much other than that, except we put a 4th Scoop Up Net into the deck to accommodate for the Snorlax that we will be starting with. We do not have a stadium, which can be awkward, but to make it for the North Tropical Beach, that's kind of what we did. So when we do play here in a moment, this is the list we will be using as more it is easier to build. So with that being said, we are going to jump into a game here, a couple games. We're going to play the no beach version, and we'll see how it goes. This deck is super fun. You can, if you got to do a lot of math, which is, if you're good at math, it's great. You can do a bunch of combos to get your opponent out of nowhere. You can like Golbat, Scoop Up Net, Golbat again, or you got the Crobat. It's like Inteleon when you combo your Drizzles, and you're like, here's Inteleon, Scoop Up Net, do it again. I love it so much. So we're gonna see what our opponent's got here. The best part about Expanded is it can be anything. You can run into a random theme deck. You can run into the donk deck that doesn't let you get a turn. You can run into ADP. You can do whatever you want. So our opponent gets to see we have a lot of balls on our deck here, so that tells them nothing. We got a Dark Energy. So we'll see if our opponent, what they choose. Expanded right now, I looked at some results. It's like kind of the Wild West, but there are a few decks such as ADP, whose GX attack lets you take another prize and do more damage. That deck's really good. There's a Tusarena V deck that I see popping up. But for the most part, the expanded meta with Arceus V is pretty undefined so far. Later in the week, we're going to have a really sick Arceus V deck because that card is insane in Standard, but wait till you see how you use it in Expanded. Alright, so we got a Snorlax start, a bunch of balls. We're off to the races. We'll see if what our opponent's got going. Alright, we did take the 1 mulligan. Great, Crobat V. Yep. That's all I got going on. So, We'll see what our opponent does here. It's expanded, so our opponent's passing. Okay. Well, in that case, we're going to quick ball and discard Raihan. We're going to see what we got in our deck. We got Crobat there. We do got only 2 Zubats, which is okay. We'll attach. We will level ball for another Zubat. And we will save the Ultra Ball for next turn, and we'll just Gormandize and draw 5. So we draw until we have 7, and our turn's over. Great, we got Scoop Up Net, Ball Guy. We can do a lot of damage this next turn. Like, we got a lot of damage going on. Our opponent does play Scoop Up Cyclone, the same one as we got. They will Stellar Wish, which if you're unfamiliar, you look at... Oh, good. Take your quick ball. You get to look at top 5 and take any trainer. And then Jirachi's asleep, which isn't such a big deal, and expanded. Alright, they will discard a metal and get a Zacian V, so it looks like we might be playing against ADP. Zacian, where if you've played, you know, that deck is pretty lethal, especially if they get the turn 1 ADP attack. Alright, they will take a metal with their Energy Lotto. They will Guzma, definitely getting a double dragon, probably in a skateboard, and whatever stadium they want to get, but we'll see. Tag team supporters and expanded always have one thing and then another you could do if you want. So this says get a stadium, but if you discard 2 cards, you also get a tool and a special energy. So it looks like they got Chaotic Swell, a skateboard, and a double dragon. So now they will Crobat, which they were able to pick up with their Scoop Up Cyclone. They will Metal Saucer again. And again, well, that is a 3 energy Zacian V turn 1. It do be like that sometimes. And they get to Dene because in expanded, not only do you have Crobat to draw to 6, you got to Dene, which says 1 trigger turn, discard your hand and draw to 6. So they got a lot going on. This is pretty normal for expanded. We're going to destroy this Zacian V, luckily, because we are good. So, they'll take their prize. We're going to bring up Zubat. Again, Zubat has free retreat cost as long as we have no energy. We're going to start off attaching. We did it. Okay, we're going to Golbat, which puts 20 damage. So we need 40 damage on this Pokemon. Luckily, we could do that very easily. Put that there. Right there. We will Ball Guy to Level Ball. What do we got in our deck? We do have a Crobat. I'm just kind of good at this because I could discard that. So we will. They scooped. They knew they were knocked out. We were doing 250. Easy. Alright, let's get another game in here with Sableye No Beach. If you are watching and you do play Expanded, what do you like to play in Expanded? Because Expanded is always there, and I don't pay much attention to it, but it's my favorite format. You just get to draw your deck. Like, that's just fun. Like, if you think of Mew V, like the Mew deck in Standard, and you've played that or seen that, and you're like, oh my gosh, they did a 4 Genesect? That's just Expanded. And I know you're thinking, oh, that's kind of gross. Yes, but it's really fun. Because one of the best things about Pokemon is you get to draw a bunch of cards. So, our opponent's got really cool sleeves. Alright, we open Tropical Beach. But we're going to open Zubat. And see what our opponent's got. Our hand's pretty good. So, in energy, but really good. Okay, they got Naganadel. So, we got this. We'll bench this. They're giving us a heart. We'll give it. They're just telling us we have a good deck, I guess. We can save this for next turn to get a supporter. We really need an energy, though. Alright, I'm going to bang on a stronger supporter, and I'm just going to get a third one. We do not have Jirachi in our deck. So we can't, we do have Dark Patch, right? Yeah. So we have ways to get energy, if we don't. So we will draw 4 cards, and see what happens. Energy would have been really good for their turn 2 knockout. So it is kind of awkward. So we'll see what happens. Our turn 2 might just be Golbatting. So, and if anything, we'll sacrifice our Sableye if we have to just get a one-hand knock and power up the Naganadel. I'm sorry, power up a Sableye in one turn. Because we do have the, don't forget, we do have the counter energy. So, our opponent will Crobat for 2. They will max Elixir onto their Crobat. Juniper, discard and Psychic, Dark, the Guzma from last game, Boss's orders. Alright, they'll max Elixir again. A Psychic Energy. They will play Noivern V. They will Communication, Darkrai-EX, which gives you Pokemon free retreat if they have a Dark Energy. They will get Execute back. Execute is an insane card. When they discard it here, we could... Okay. So what Execute does... sorry. Real quick. Execute says, if it's in your discard pile, you can put it back in your hand. But every time it goes back to your hand, it resets itself. So you could technically do it forever, as long as you could put it back in your discard pile. So, with that being said, we are going to Ball Guy for these three. We're going to Level Ball. So we're going to get Golbat. So they could heal because it says heal from this Pokemon. So we're going to put 20 on Noivern. We're going to Golbat again. And then we're going to put 20 on Noivern. Let's see here. So we want a Quick Ball. Wait, what do we got in here? We don't want that anymore. So we're going to Quick Ball. And we're just going to get this Snorlax because I want to discard it to get more cards. So we're going to Ultra Ball and we will get another Sableye. I kind of want to save this. So what we can do, let's see, pick up this, 2050. It's just the same amount of cards in here. So we'll draw 3 cards. Okay. So we can get a knockout on the Naganadel this turn. We're getting Marnied. Alright. Well, we still can. That's why we still got some trainers. So if we get like a Ball Guy and a Counter Energy, we're still doing pretty good. Alright, we did get a Dark Patch. That ain't bad. Alright, our opponent is Max Elixir because they got to do 180. Noivern does have free retreat costs, so. Okay, the best that we could draw is like a Quick Ball. So we will bring up Golbat as it does have free retreat cost. We did get a Dark Energy, so we don't want to attach that. So what we will do is end. So we of course drew all the... Wow, that was a really bad hand. That's a bad hand. What an insanely bad hand we drew. Alright, well. We'll just have to do this and get him next turn. So, what we'll be able to do is Dark Patch. I want Ball Guy. Kinda. So they'll knock us out. We'll Dark Patch. We'll double Crobat, and we'll knock them out and take 3 prizes. So, let's see what you got here. They got, you do 10 more damage if you are Dark or Dragon. That Wolfing Energy would be sick. Right, because this does 70. They do got Max Elixir, by the way. You look at the top card. You do attach an energy card, but it's only to a basic Pokemon. So, okay. Looks like they're going to Jet Pierce. Alright, we're going to get the knockout. We will be able to get the knockout this turn. And hopefully the game will go a lot better from there. So, we will draw. We're going to first Dark Patch onto our Sableye. We will do this. We're going to put 30 on this. We're going to Crobat to see maybe we can draw without it. Of course, we drew a Raihan. We will Ball Guy. So what we're going to do is Repeat Ball. And we're going to get another Crobat to put 30 more damage on this. We will discard a Ball Guy because we're basically out of balls here. We will get a Sableye. So that way if we get knocked out, we will get a goal. Nothing. Just kidding. I knew that. And then we will treat and we'll do 380 damage. So, take those 3 real quick. There's our Jirachi, Guzma, We haven't even used a Scoop Up Net, I don't think. Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to do. As you'll see so far, no matter what happens with the game, it's awkward to like skip a couple turns, but we're able to recover because you have the ability with Surprise Bite to just get a one-hit knockout. So if we draw a Scoop Up Net, this next card is going to be real good. Because we could just start getting knockouts, and we can go to 2 prizes because we can knock out this. Okay, draw. We didn't. All right. So what we can do. So usually, what you could do right now is if you have Scoop Up Net, you could just load search and put that back in. But what we're actually gonna do is bring up Crobat. We don't have anything here. We're going to Ultra Ball. We'll discard those 2 to just get a Snorlax in our hands to get out of our deck. So we got 5 ways still. Okay, we're going to attack with Skill Dive, which just does 30 to 1 of their Pokemon. So we will attack Zoroark for 30 damage. So that way, if they can't attack next turn, we can get this go to 2 and hopefully set up a thing. Just kidding, they evolved. It'd be like that sometimes. Marnie, scoop up something. We got 5 in like a 20-card deck. Okay. Yeah, that card. Alright. They're going to discard the Pokemon. Evolution Incense for nothing. Probably got a Crobat in their hand. Yeah, obviously they have a Crobat. They picked it up. So if they kill us, can we kill them? I don't know. We have this in our discard pile because I don't think we can. Because if we didn't, we probably could. Yeah, so now they're down to 1 prize. So that went very horribly wrong for us because we prized the Crobat. Or the Golbat. Of course, that's what we did. Because we can only put 20. Yeah. Unfortunately. I know when we play this, you're going to hit us with well played or something. So we got 20. Our attack is unfortunately only doing 150. I need another one. Which is the worst part. And I don't think we have a way to do that in our deck. That I know of. We're just gonna. Oh, I didn't even. Alright, well, that's not what I meant to click. So, we will attack. They will kill us, and we will concede. Alright. I don't think it would have mattered. So, you saw there we stumbled off the Marnie just like you do in Standard. And it do be like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That was probably my fault for discarding the Zigzagoon, but I didn't know Surprise the Golbat and all of that stuff. So, that was just a couple games with the deck. The deck does have a lot of good lines of play. Super cool. Like you saw, we can get a hit out of knockout, a knockout out of nowhere. You could go up to 4 Golbats if you want. I never really needed it, because you do draw one of your 5 Scoop Up Net Cyclone usually in a game. And then if you're looking, so since we do play the Ball Guy, we can go to items here. So you got a lot of balls. Remember, you can't get Air Balloon. But you can play Pokeball if you want. Timer Ball. I did have Timer Ball at one point, but I kept getting Tails. There's no read for Heavy Ball. Great Ball's fine, but you kind of get guaranteed kind of a thing. So I think the balls I do have are the best ones you could play. You could put a Rescue Stretcher instead of the Lure Ball, but it's, I don't know, it's never like mattered too much in the games I've played. But with that being said, this has been Sableye Crobat. Look out for another expanded deck every day. We're going to go down the line from Arceus decks to a Mimikyu VMAX deck to Zoroark box. We're going to hit a lot of cool decks. And let me know what you think of this deck. And I will see everybody next time on the tea table.